So my name is Kara Rodrigues. I am a service coordinator too for the early intervention program here at Groden. October will be 2 years that I've been here. I've worked in the EI field for about 11 years now. I graduated in 2009 from URI with a degree in human development and family studies, and I minored in psychology. And from there, I began working in EI at a different agency. I actually had done my internship there, and that's where I had really found a great love for the field, working with that birth to 3 population, just seeing the growth that happens during that time period. I remained at that agency for about 5 years, and then I went on to a different agency before coming to Groden. Prior to starting at Groden, I actually finished my master's program in child and developmental psychology. So really looking for a little bit of growth within the field, just being able to now administer evaluations, do a little bit more hands-on family training counseling with families versus more of that service coordination aspect where I was more so maintaining services and implementing services and gathering a team for the families and their children. One of the biggest things I've learned is that no matter how much you study or how many textbooks you read, testing papers, the wealth of knowledge that you get from being in the field, that hands-on experience is priceless. Over the years of being in EI, I've learned so much from my teams, not just from the therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, the speech therapists, but also the families that we work with, because they are the best advocates for their families and their children, and they know their children best. I've learned so much. So from strategies to implement for these families to just how to approach certain families, different cultures. I've had the opportunity to work with such a diverse population, and I feel like I've gained so much from being in the field, if not more than what I gained from being in college, both undergrad and the master's program. As far as just characteristics and traits, I think the most important thing is communication. Working in this field and within this role specifically, being able to communicate and be a fluid communicator with your team as well as your clients is critical to the services. You're not only working with a team of providers within the agency, but a lot of these families are also enrolled in other programs, other agencies, and it's important for all of their providers to be on the same page, to know what services are being implemented, what strategies are being modeled for these families and coached. And also, through the process of EI, there's other referrals and services that we're helping to implement for these families within the community for when we exit at age 3. And I think that it's important for that communication piece, but also to be really flexible because things are changing on a daily basis with families. You may be scheduled to go in and meet with them and have a topic on hand, a plan that you had set forth at a previous visit, and then you walk in and things are completely different. There may be a different situation or a different crisis that's going on that this family needs assistance with. So definitely flexibility, communication, definitely organization as well. Managing a caseload of 30 to 35 cases, not only making sure that all of their services are in place, but also being able to communicate with those other team members, families, making sure that reviews are happening, evaluations. There's a number of steps and processes that have to be tracked over the period of time that the family's enrolled. As far as coursework, I think one of the courses that sticks out the most that's definitely assisted me within this field was my Intro to Counseling course that I took in my undergraduate career at URI. We're walking into these families' homes, and it's such an intimate environment where you never know what you're going to walk into. That first time you get that referral, a paper only tells you so much. You walk into that house, and that family could share so much more information with you that you weren't prepared for. So I think just having that basic knowledge of kind of how to support that family and meet them where they're at, being able to let them know that they can trust us as providers, that we're there to assist them in whatever need that they may have, and just being able to meet them where they're at. Nonstop. It's definitely spontaneous, but can be predictable. So with productivity expectations and having to be able to schedule a certain number of visits a day in order to meet that expectation per week, Typically we have it set for 5 to 6 visits a day, but a lot of times there's either illnesses or cancellations, or sometimes families forget about appointments. So being able to be, again, flexible to reach out to your team members, reschedule or jump on another visit with another therapist, maybe doing a last minute evaluation if a family was waiting, they were on the wait list. And again, to thinking about some of these families that you had a set plan of what you were going to address with them when you walk into the home that day and something else has happened. So being able to kind of put that on the back burner and address what's going on or what that family needs at that point in time. So I think with this agency, I've had experience at a number of agencies in different roles, and I feel like here at the Groden Network, it's just a very inclusive and supportive organization, both at the coworker level, but also with the families and support that we provide to clients. I think one of the most fulfilling experiences I've had is with a specific family. I had gotten a referral less than a year before their 3rd birthday, which services end at age 3. And this family's primary language was not English. And this child had significant delays. We had significant concerns for this child as a team, and the family wasn't necessarily in a place where they were ready to kind of get the level of support we wanted to provide initially, weren't really understanding the concerns we had, but in a matter of about 10 to 11 months, we were able to support this family in getting additional testing, helping them to understand their child and where they were at as far as their strengths and needs, and also support them in that testing aspect, gaining a diagnosis, and then transitioning them to the school district. And I can remember that last visit I had with the family was myself and the speech therapist, and the mother just thanked us numerous times, through an interpreter. And I really felt like we had put this family in a great place where they had the skills and strategies they needed to help continue to advocate for their child. And not that they were necessarily left without anything, and they kind of knew what steps to take next between now and, with the child starting the school system.